officers go inside of the home, that's when they make another heartbreaking discovery. Ruby Frankie's young daughter, who we're referring to as EF, sitting inside of the closet cross-legged on the floor in complete silence.
You come in, my buddy. I'm a police officer. Are you going for the union here? Hey, you okay? Is it just you in here? I'm Sergeant Tobler. What's your name? I just have one. Where's your sister at? Contact one. You okay? Huh? You doing okay? You don't want to talk to me? Yeah, that's okay. Can you come with me though?
Sergeant Tobler would later tell ABC News they initially believed Frankie's daughter was a little boy due to the young girl having a buzz cut at the time. Tobler then tells EF they apprehended Jody Hildebrandt, but the little girl still sits silent, seemingly too afraid to speak.
We got Jody out here. You know Jody? She's outside with us. You take your time, bud. I'm in no hurry. I'm a police officer. Did you know that? I don't mean to hurt you at all. You doing okay? Are you scared? Yeah? You're okay. Do you need help? You want to come with me? No? I'm not going to hurt you. Promise. See this right here? It's a badge. It tells me I don't hurt people. I'm just here to make sure you're okay. If you're in no way in any trouble, I'm not here to hurt you. I just want to make sure you're okay. And I get if you're scared. I would be too. Okay? You want to come with me?
Still visibly afraid, the officer then offers reassurance to the young child by sitting down on the floor with her.
It's okay if I just sit here with you. We don't have to say anything. If you don't want to, I'll just sit here with you.
A little more than an hour later, EF is still afraid to leave the closet. Sergeant Tobler asks the young girl if she's hungry and would like some food.
Thanks, yeah.
EF seems nervous to eat as she stares at the small personalized pizza for several minutes before slowly inching the food toward her so she can take a bite. Frankie's daughter reportedly eats the entire personal pizza and half of the large one. More than an hour goes by and EF is still afraid to leave the closet as officials take turns to try to get her up, but she's still not budging. One EMT tries to get her to talk, but she said she's nervous.
You don't want to talk? Okay. There's nothing at all you want to talk about at all? It's okay to talk to me.
Thank you so much, iHeart. Before I say anything else, I just want to send my prayers and lots of love back to our community in Nashville, Tennessee that's hurting beyond belief right now. So just wanted to say that. But
guys, holy crap. Brand new footage just came out showing Jody Hildebrandt and Ruby Frankie's arrests.
Jody? I need you to step out.
I have my attorney.
That's great. Step out of the house.
No, I'm not going to step out of the house.
Step out of the house.
Step out of the house.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
We're just going to see. We're going to be on phone.
Wait a minute, how do you come to my house?
Right there.
Look, they come on into my house.
Just have a seat right there.
Do you have a search warrant?
Have a seat right there.
Do you have a search warrant?
Have a seat right there. I'll explain everything after. Have a seat right there.
Do you have a search warrant, sir?
We're searching the house.
I can tell you what's in the house.
Okay. Just have a seat right there for me.
Do you have a search warrant?
We'll explain it after this.
You can't just come into my house without a search warrant.
We'll explain everything after this, ma'am. Okay. Well, that's one of the reasons why we're here. So we'll explain after everything's done, after we clear the house and make sure everything's fine in there.
But why are you coming into my house without a
We'll
search warrant?
explain it after this.
But that doesn't make sense. You come into my house and do what you want, and then you tell me you don't have a
No,
warrant?
we'll explain why we did.
But don't you have to have a warrant?
Not at this moment, we don't. We're here on exigent circumstances, and I'll explain it after this.
So we now have quite a bit more information about Audrey Hale, the person who was responsible for yesterday's horrific shooting in Nashville. And some of this stuff is really interesting, so you're going to want to watch. The morning that it happened, like less than 30 minutes before Audrey went to the school, a former teammate received a text from Audrey saying that Audrey was going to take their life that day and that this person would see it on the news. The teammate first spoke to her father in less than 10 minutes, reached out to the suicide helpline, sat on hold for 7 minutes, and then was told to call police non-emergency, which she did, and they did not show up for another 6 hours. We also learned that Audrey owned 7 firearms that they purchased at 5 local gun shops, and all of them were obtained legally. Apparently, Audrey was hiding weapons at her parents' house. They believed that Audrey only had 1 weapon and that it had been sold and that there were no others. 3 of the weapons used in the attack yesterday were of those 7. Nashville PD also wanted to dispel the rumor that certain individuals were targeted in this attack. That is just not true. The building itself was targeted, of which Audrey was a former student, but there is no indication at this point in time that any specific individuals were targeted. So now let's talk about what we know about Audrey's mental health. And by the way, TikTok has me currently banned from live, so if you want to see any lives, make sure to follow me on YouTube, Justin on TikTok. Basically, Audrey was being treated for an emotional disorder, and it was under the care of a doctor. But despite the fact that this person was under a doctor's care for their mental health, they were still able to legally purchase and obtain firearms. And actually, there's currently no laws in Tennessee that would allow the fact that they were going through this type of mental health care that would have allowed police to take firearms away anyways. And lastly, let's talk about the manifesto. So they're still going through it, but here's what we know so far. We know that there were several different writings about other locations throughout Nashville. There were talks about this specific school, the Covenant School, a map of the Covenant School, as well as a map/drawing of how Audrey had planned to enter it. It also appears that the custodian who was killed in yesterday's attack was just in the hallway, and when Audrey shot through the glass, he was killed at that point in time. And it appears that the headmaster, the principal, might have met the shooter in the hallway, and they said that there might have been a confrontation based on the way that she was found. And if you're interested in hearing more updates on this, make sure to hit that follow button. I am a resident of the Metro Nashville area, and I will be following this incredibly closely.
Perfect. You don't have anything on you that I should know about, correct? Is there anything you have on you? Okay, I'm going to search you before we put you in his car. Are you wearing a bra? Okay, I'm just going to go like this through and make sure you don't have anything. You said you're not wearing a bra? Okay.
Guys, I cannot handle this new footage. Also, Ruby's journals have been leaked, and in them, she was saying that the devil wants her to go to prison. Well, so do I.
Is that just like a tank top under here? Okay.
Okay. And we'll go ahead and I can remove those stuff there. Go to down and remove them. This way, yeah. Okay, go ahead and have a seat.
We have an update on the private school shooting that happened today in Nashville. If any of you want to see a video that has more information on this case, you could just click the comment that's right up there and it'll bring you to the video that I made earlier. The shooter and the victims have been identified. The shooter was identified as Audrey Hale, who was a transgender man who went by he, him pronouns. Another thing that was released was that he shot through the side door to gain entry. Around 3 p.m., investigators went to Audrey's house where he lived with his parents, and the house was 3 miles away from the school. While searching the house, they found a manifesto that contained details on the date, the attack, and how it was all going to take place. They also found detailed maps that showed all the entry points as well as where surveillance was on the building. I also saw in some of the articles that I was reading that there was mention of another school possibly being a target, but that school had too much security, so he didn't choose to go there. Pictures of the victims haven't been released except for the head of the school, Catherine Kuntz, who was 60. The other victims include 3 9-year-olds, Evelyn Dykehouse, Haley Scruggs, and William Kinney, as well as 2 other staff members, Cynthia Peak and Mike Hill. There are already multiple vigils that are planned for today and tomorrow if any of you live in the area and would like to give your support to the community and the families. As more updates come out, I will definitely be keeping you all updated.
Let's go. Alright, step up, please. Thank you. Go and face that officer. Put your hand on the top of your head, please. Analyze your fingers. Thank you. Okay, look to your left. Thank you. Let's go down. The ones that lock on the outside. I know you got searched already. I don't buy baits. You don't have anything in your pockets at all, right? You just these ones only. Alright, let's go. Up the stairs. We'll go out the front door that way.
Just hang on one second right here in the lobby, okay?
Okay.
I just want to let you know what your criminal charge is for, so you're under arrest. It's going to be 2 counts, second-degree felony of child abuse or neglect, okay? Do you understand that or no? Are you okay? I'm wondering if there's like a medical clearance that needs to, like, do you need medical attention before you go to the jail? All right, well, we'll have you, as soon as she gets down here, we'll bring you out, okay?
Okay.
Have you ever been arrested before? I'm just concerned about you. I know you don't believe that. But I've had an opportunity to talk to your husband and kind of worried about your circumstances and obviously your children as well. But you're sure you don't need medical attention or anything like that?
I got 17 years.
Why did you start today?
I don't know. It's all around. I'm going to get right now drinking those up.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what happens later tonight. It's okay. I will see it works out because I worked out for 2 hours today. So I heard about 3 songs.
Yes, you did.
And I'm sweating it off.
It's so hot downstairs.
Oh, it was.
I found the AC. We're going to find it. So I turned it down.
Oh, down there?
Mm-hmm. It was 78.
Oh, dude, it was bad. Yeah.
Breaking news, Gabby Petito's parents now say for a fact they know that Brian Laundrie told his parents about committing the crime. The first request that the Laundries wanted was any and all documentation showing that they have proof that Brian Laundrie told his parents that he committed the crime, in which they responded with AT&T records. Any documents or communication showing that the Laundries spoke to Stephen Bertolino on August 28, 2021, where they again referenced an AT&T bill. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
I've already told you.
Brand new footage has just been released showing Ruby's son approaching the neighbor's house asking for help.
So we just spoke with your husband, and he said you guys have 6 kids. Are those all together? Are those all your kids? I can wait all day, so it's up to you if you want to talk to us about what's going on. Would you feel more comfortable talking to one of us?
Maybe you want me to I can step out if you want.
Or if you feel more comfortable talking to him, I can step out.
I'll wait till I have a lawyer.
Okay. So you don't want to talk to us at all?
I've already told you.
That you want a lawyer? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Easy enough.
Thank you.
Is there anything else I can get for you in the meantime? I got the water. Do you need a bathroom break or anything like that? No? Okay. Okay, good.
Everyone should know about what has happened to Lauren Heike. Lauren was a 29-year-old esthetician, and last Friday morning, she alone was hiking near her home in North Phoenix. 24 hours later, she was found murdered off a trail west of Scottsdale Road and Mile Boulevard. Almost immediately, authorities released this footage of a suspect running from the area. This person has since been identified as 22-year-old Zion Teasley. He was arrested at the Scottsdale home he shared with his mother, less than a mile from the scene. We now know that Lauren was followed and then chased down the Route 11 trail before being viciously attacked from behind. She suffered 15 stab wounds to the back and chest, but tried her hardest to put up a fight, with defensive wounds to her arms and her hands. Tragically, investigators believe that she eventually escaped, but her injuries were too severe to keep going. On the trail, police have found Lauren's belongings scattered, presumably dropped as she was running for her life. Her clothing suggested that at one point the chase went through a barbed wire fence, and it was actually DNA in her shoe that led to Zion's arrest. When police submitted this DNA sample, Zion's name came up in court records. Detectives then went to his former workplace, where his ex-coworkers recognized his clothing as merchandise that had been stolen from the store. They said he'd recently been fired for being aggressive towards female employees. Zion has since admitted to detectives that, like Lauren, he frequented the area. He identified himself as the man in the footage, and when shown a picture of Lauren, said that he, quote, wanted to look like her. He also reportedly spoke about growing up as a Christian, struggling with his sexuality, and how he hadn't been with anyone in a while. Finally, we know that in 2020, Zion was charged with robbery, kidnapping, and disorderly conduct, but was listed as a medium-low risk to reoffend and got a plea deal. He was released in November of 2022 and actually met with his probation officer after the murder. Interestingly, his mother works for a local county's probation department. So as of today, Zion is listed as a flight risk with a bail set at $1 million. Obviously, this is nothing short of terrifying, and it's a case that young women everywhere need to be aware of.
This morning, they released the first interrogation that they had with Ruby Frankie.
Was this your water?
It's yours if you want it. We'll say that.
We also have snacks if you need anything to eat. So I know I introduced myself to you earlier, but my name's Detective Bates, and this is Sergeant Togler. We're just here to talk to you about kind of a few things involving your kids. So first, do you live down here, or? Or do you live up north? Do you want to talk to me about where you live, or how many kids you have? So we just spoke with your husband, and he said you guys have 6 kids. Are those all together? Are those all your kids? I can wait all day, so it's up to you if you want to talk to us about what's going on. Would you feel more comfortable talking to one of us?
Or do you want me to take a step out if you want?
Or if you feel more comfortable talking to him, I can step out.
I'll wait till I have a lawyer.
Okay. So, you don't want to talk to us at all? Do you want to answer that? Or you don't want to talk to us about anything?
So yeah, this is just your chance to tell us. We're just trying to get your side of the story. So it's your chance to do that. But it's up to you. We're just here to talk. And I mean, I'm not asking any criminal questions. If you don't want to talk to us, just let us know and we'll be done.
I've already told you.
You want a lawyer? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Easy enough.
Thank you.
Is there anything else I can get for you in the meantime? I got the water. Do you need a bathroom break or anything like that? No? Okay.
This video would be immediately taken down if I told you how I felt about that smug look on her face the entire time she's in here. That blank stare and her lack of words says everything for me. And when the cops offer her a snack or a drink, when she withheld that from her children intentionally. How?
Breaking news, surviving roommate Bethany does not want to testify as a witness. As you can see here on 421, there was a motion filed to quash the subpoena. She was subpoenaed as a material witness, which means she may be the only one to hold specific information that can sway the outcome of the trial. Additionally, if they believe she will not testify or she will flee, they can issue a warrant for her arrest to force her to testify. Another reason they may want Bethany to testify is that it could offset the other surviving roommate, Dylan's testimony. Ultimately, the decision lies in the judge's hands now. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
This is all the news you're not going to see on TV today, but it's going to be simplified in 60 seconds. Emergency officials are now warning people to stock up on food, water, and fuel ahead of the solar eclipse. If you didn't know already, the solar eclipse is happening on April the 8th, so it's just a couple weeks away. Officials are also now warning of widespread cell phone disruption ahead of the solar eclipse if the other one wasn't enough. They're saying that a ton of people are traveling to see the solar eclipse and a lot of people might not have service. People are now panicking after Glassdoor adds real names to the site where workers complain about companies. If you don't know what Glassdoor is, it's what I just said. You can go on there and complain about companies and it's all anonymous, but they just put real names on those. The US is no longer officially ranked among the world's top 20 happiest countries. I didn't know it ever was. This mom was grossed out after cutting open her kid's Capri Sun and seeing what was inside of it. I'm gonna keep this really short. There's a bunch of stuff happening with Capri Sun. You can't see what's inside of them unless you cut them, so that's nasty. Also, if you know anybody that shops at Trader Joe's, they just recalled in 16 states these cashews. If you want to know what specific states and the dates on these cashews, just in case you have them, you can pause and read. I give you these daily roundups every day, so add me and come back to me tomorrow. This is everything that happened on the news today, but it's going to be simplified in 60 seconds. Atlantic Ocean could be swallowed by ring of fire after scientists analyze a sleeping subduction zone. If you don't know what that is, they're basically locations on Earth where one plate is pushed below another plate. These usually happen all the time around the world, but they go really slowly, and they're worried if more of them form, it could swallow the entire ocean. A shipwreck worth $17 billion is finally being recovered after 316 years underwater. It was lost. They just found it. The US drops out of list of top 20 happiest countries in the world for the first time ever. None of us even knew it was there to begin with. An urgent warning was just issued to anyone that uses WhatsApp on an Android phone specifically. They're saying that there's currently a security breach and it's always watching and eventually stealing details such as banking details and other personal information. The original patent for toilet paper in 1891 shows the correct way to put it, so if you put it the other way, you're wrong. The US is officially trying to sue Apple for a legal monopoly over smartphones. They're basically claiming that Apple is monopolizing the smartphone market, so we'll see where this goes. A new study is now showing that diet drinks may actually boost the risk of dangerous heart conditions by 20%. I give you these daily roundups every day, so add me and come back to me tomorrow.
Brian Kohberger, the suspect in the Idaho murders, has been indicted by a grand jury. The indictment read that Kohberger did unlawfully enter the home in Moscow, Idaho, and that he did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation, and with malice aforethought, kill and murder the 4 victims. Initially, Kohberger's preliminary hearing was set to begin in June, but because the prosecution decided to impanel a grand jury, that preliminary hearing is no longer required. Kohberger has yet to enter a plea, but he is expected to do so at his arraignment on Monday. Under Idaho law, the trial would then have to take place within 6 months after his arraignment, unless he waives his right to a speedy trial. Kohberger and his lawyers have not made a statement since his indictment, and the witnesses who testified before the grand jury's names have been sealed. This is to protect the witnesses and also ensure a fair trial. It'll be really interesting to see what he pleads next week.
So yesterday morning, a body was found in the Highland Reservoir, for which most of Rochester gets their water. About 2 o'clock yesterday, a boil advisory was sent out with the area affected that receives this water, which I'm in, and to warn everyone until further notice that they should not be drinking straight tap water. They should be filtering it and boiling it for at least a minute before ingesting it, washing your dishes, brushing your teeth, showering. So with the plants, I know I was overreacting. It was just it was gross. It didn't really sit right with me, so I was like tweaking a little bit, but I'm good now, and the plants are gonna be great. They're gonna be happy, and it's gonna be great.
Breaking news, Ethan's parents say they will not be attending any of the court dates. When asked if they would be attending any of the court hearings, they said, quote, it's negative energy and they will not be there. They said they would rather you know this, give your kids the gift of time. Quote, we spend 110% of our time with our kids. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
For each victim as previously named in counts 1 through 34 of the indictment, with the specific amount to be determined at a later time. Mr. Cruz, you are remanded to the custody of the Department of Corrections to complete the mandatory life sentences imposed by the court. I am also granting the state's motion under the Florida equivalent of the Son of Sam law, which means, Mr. Cruz, you will not be able to benefit in any way as far as monies are concerned as to the crimes that you committed. Mr. Cruz, you're still under oath. Are you in agreement that you're not asking for a PSI in this case? Okay. Is there anything else? Or he's remanded to the custody of the Department of Corrections. And he's to be given credit in the amount of 1,718 days time served.
The sister of Madeleine McCann has spoken out for the first time. 18-year-old Emily McCann attended a vigil to mark the 16th anniversary of the disappearance of her sister. In her first ever public appearance, she addressed the crowd saying, "It's nice that everyone is here together, but it's a sad occasion." She also joined in with prayers and chants to never ever give up and leave no stone unturned until Maddie is found. Emily attended the event with her parents Kate and Jerry McCann, but her twin brother Sean was not present. The teenager, who will be attending university soon, lit a candle for her sister.